So welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, and we are going to be getting into a round number 3 battle between two of our victors so far. It's going to be Banga PH and eXoBLaZeR coming on back to the stream, but also doing battle with one another. And this time, we're going to be joined by Mr. XtinC, Mr. Zerg, back for a PvZ matchup. And it's a perfect time to have XtinC this broadcast. So how you doing, XtinC, after seeing a few round 2 matches go those ways between Artanis as well as Blazer taking those victories?
It's very fun match. I was watching, then I fell asleep.
Nice. I'm glad to know that my voice has made you fallen asleep. That's that's the best parts. That's the best time, especially knowing something about my co-caster here. But hey, it is what it is, and we are gonna be seeing this best of 3 between Banga PH and eXoBLaZeR. We've seen a CVP before, but we are gonna see it yet again, and on to circuit breakers we go. Again, a pretty classic map, that's for sure, and something always reliable. I'm also expecting many players to pick circuit breakers. And how about you, XtinC? What do you think is a map that is gonna be played a lot in this tournament?
I think most people are gonna pick circuit breakers and
What? Oh no, XtinC. What happened to Mr. XtinC? But yeah, we're gonna probably see some circuit breakers. I wouldn't be surprised to see Escalade again from time to time, because it is a very similar map with a few modern ideas. And hey, it's a PvZ. We're gonna see a few overpull action. It's gonna be very interesting to see how Corsairs are gonna be brought into the fold again. And let's make sure Mr. XtinC is a-okay. XtinC, how you doing? Where you at? Are you still there, my friend? Hello, it's me. I've been wondering about the things that we shouldn't be. But I'm gonna sing to BlaZeR. I'm gonna sing to BlaZeR. I'm gonna sing to XtinC because of this. I'm ending up singing on stream for this guy. But seems like Mr. Caster here is trying to fix something up as we are getting ready, set to get into circuit breakers. And we've seen this map multiple times already. It is a very stable map to play on. It has a lot of ideas. It has a lot of familiarities to many players, and well, circuit breakers is a very fun map to be, that's for sure. So yeah, Mr. XtinC, are you still there? Hello. All right, what are we gonna be on? Is this gonna be me, myself, and I? Is it gonna be just me, myself, and I? What happened to him? Oh, he's gone.
It's gone.
Panda, he's gone. He disappeared. XtinC went extinct. Exactly. I think therefore I am dead. I am gone. Oh my god, XtinC,
We
why
the
you
best music.
We the best indeed. God just like suddenly disappears out of nowhere. He's saying something mid-sentence and then he just goes poof like Coco Crunch and he is gone from this one. But honestly, I just want to talk about the upcoming matchup. We've seen Banga show off his expertise before, especially just able to outclass his opponent in many different regards. But on the other side of the coin, BlaZeR coming in from such a hard-fought affair against the side of Bayagster. So he might be feeling a little bit fatigued, but also on the other side of the coin, he might have a lot of momentum coming his way. Now, BlaZeR does have to change things up though, as it is going to be a Zerg on the other side, Bang and PH looking to still make a little bit of a run here and there. And if I remember correctly, XtinC was telling me a story before he went extinct that Banga PH was one of the first members of the community to actually set up a tournament for StarCraft Remastered when it came out. So honestly, being a pioneer of the community, of the scene, still a big deal to notice. But anyway, so I think XtinC died. So Panda, do you want to come back in?
I'm just on push to talk. Like,
no, I mean, like, do you want to come back in and for the cast? Is it gonna be Panda again? Come on.
I think it's gonna come back.
Is it gonna come back? Okay. I'll just trust XtinC to come back, okay? And we will go for a Daks. So let's go for a Daks solo cast in the meantime while waiting then. So Mr. XtinC is getting everything set and done. Let's get into the action, get into the game. PVZ coming our way, and is it all good to go? That's gonna be the real question. Seems like things are, though, still being set up to begin with, but it's gonna be very interesting to see how this matchup is gonna unfold. Like, what are gonna be the components of a victory or a defeat between our Zerg and our Protoss? What are really gonna be the builds that we will be seeing from these two players? Let's find out as we get into the game. Let's get into Circuit Breakers. So welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, and here we are. Into Circuit Breakers we go, and into another matchup here in the StarCraft 3H Brood War League. Introducing first, on the bottom right of Circuit Breakers, on that 4 o'clock position, it's our blue Protoss, eXoBLaZeR. And his opponent now, on the top right of the map, it's gonna be the red Zerg on the 1 o'clock position. It's Banga PH. StarCraft 1 Brood War solo cast. Let's get into this one. Well, XtinC is still fixing things up. We'll get into game number 1, and here we are on Circuit Breakers, an absolute standard of a map, and it is going to be a vertical notion here and now between Banga and BlaZeR. Now, this is something really good for Banga. He can go for a pretty early pull to try and just get into his opponent's face. It's going to be a very quick rush to begin with, as this is pretty much, if I remember correctly, the fastest point to get on through. I might be mistaken, this is a 128 by 128 map, not the biggest in any kind of regard, and hopefully XtinC comes on back, as we are looking really good so far. Thank you to the Brood War community for really supporting. And you know, if I remember, that's gonna be extractor check here for Banga PH into the 10 pool, basically after a 9 pool there. Might go for the Overlord as well. No, it's only the extractor check so far, so he's looking for a little more minerals to get the boost on, potentially a prettier early pool into this fight. So yeah, more Lings gonna be the name of the game, and Banga PH just looking to maximize a little bit of that money to get an Overlord there and then. But as I was trying to say, thank you to the Brood War community for really coming on in since 1998, man, says the chat. It's ridiculous. It has been more than 2 decades already. And if you guys do want to volunteer, just hit us up here on the Discord. Just make sure to coordinate with Mr. Mizzle, as I'm usually busy with the production. But we are welcoming pretty much anyone, especially Brood War veterans, who are going to really give us a little more flavor in our broadcast. But anyway, there you go with the eggs getting morphed on in. And it's going to be a Ling frenzy here for Banga PH. He wants to go for the aggression, he wants to go for the fight, and he already sees where BlaZeR is set on up. But BlaZeR is going to be playing a little more standard. He's going for his wall. He does have 2 cannons coming his way to try and defend. And the real question is, can he actually get a wall in time? The pylon, I feel like, doesn't have the range for it in terms of that power field. And here comes the string of Zerglings after basically the overpull there, after the extractor tech, after these Lings coming on out. For the protection, getting the damage done. Hello, Mr. XtinC. How are you doing? We are back.
Sorry,
how are you doing?
My cat pulled the plug on my computer, so yeah.
It's okay. Just get closer to your mic and let's get into this one. So 2 hatcheries already coming online here for Banga. He went for that pull first. He went for that extraction tech. He went for the aggression, but immediately forcing BlaZeR to go set up that Forge Fast Expand instead with 2 cannons. But beyond all that, damage is done. The non-existent damage is done. And it is just basically time for BlaZeR to get that second exit point and set up a gateway to really form up his wall.
So basically, BlaZeR is going for the macro-oriented build versus Banga.
It really is just pretty standard here enough from other players, and I love the reactions between Banga and BlaZeR. So Banga looking to play the aggression, especially getting the scout very early, and forcing BlaZeR to go for that FFE instead with 2 cannons, really putting a dent in his resources, because that's basically what, 450 minerals used up by BlaZeR just to make sure that that string of Zerglings coming the way isn't really gonna hamper. So it's like 200 to 450 minerals, a pretty good investment here for Banga PH.
Yeah, 2 cannons is a bit too much for Lings. He won't be able to do much damage here, but I think Banga's gonna protect up to Hydra. Is that correct? Can you look?
Banga is going to be going for Hydralisk, and already onto the augments we go. A little more movement speed, going a long way. And I feel like if you're not going to protect your cannon with your probes, then you do have to go for the 2 cannon approach. And it's for BlaZeR, it seems like he's sacrificing a 150 minerals to make sure his mining time is still on point, as Zergling's still waiting on the outside and map control in favor of Banga PH so far.
Yeah, with an early lane speed, you really need to get to cannons unless you or else your lane's just gonna run past those cannons.
Exactly, but speaking of speed, Sealed of the Dune coming online, and BlaZeR is gonna go for the speed lots upgrade first, so no Corsair whatsoever as of yet. He's gonna be looking to play the ground game and looking to hold into the front line. Now this does have a lot of repercussions basically on how this is gonna unfold. Now if Bang of PH decides to seize this and decides to go for that Spire Tech instead, it might be BlaZeR in trouble because he's not really going to have much anti-air besides potential Dragoons. But at the same time, well, these Hydras going to be looking to play into the ground, and it's 2-hatch Hydra, more of an opening attack, more of a little bit of a timing, especially with the double pump upgrades to help things out over the overwhelming force that we usually see when you're on 3 hatch, you know, that kind of thing, or maybe even 3 base 5 hatch kind of scenario, but basically having a lot of money coming your way.
This is basically an all-in for Bang. He wants to end the game right now.
And it's just really all about him looking to seal the deal, but this is such a big wall from BlaZeR right now, and there is no Banelings in this game to actually get the bust down. It's going to be very difficult, but at least the Hydras can get the poke on, and Holy Artosis Pylon, BlaZeR needs to make sure that this Pylon will come up just in time to keep these Photon Cannons powered. And now this is still Banger waiting on the outskirts. That fast expando from the Protoss working out with the Fortune Hand, and Zealots being popped into the front line to make sure reinforcements have arrived.
He needs to attack here. He needs to attack. 3 cannons is gonna be too much for Hydra.
Exactly, and here comes already with the Hydralisk poking at the gateway. Look at that, those spines really connecting onto the gateway, and that is just this building going down very quickly. No more production right now for those Zealots, but still this cannon, he has to go for it. He either goes for it now or it's never. Here comes the Hydras into the front line, looking to crawl on in with that movement speed, slithering right here right now. Golden Cannon's getting the DPS on, Zealots really fighting for their lives, and the probe's gonna get pulled along the way here. XtinC, Banger though, forced the back one out. As that third command counts online, it's now artillery fire in a scenario like this.
He didn't focus by the cannons. The cannons got too many shots for the Hydras.
Yeah, just way too much, and he went for more or less all the units instead of the cannons. And with the DPS from the cannons that just tears apart those Hydras in the front lines, Banger forced to retreat. Is he gonna go for a sort of lurker aspect situation? No, he does stay on 2 hatch, and he's really connecting, he's really committing on this 2 base all in with these Hydras waiting at the wings.
Yeah, but speed up is already finished. Here comes the speed up, and 3 cannons a bit too much for defense, I think. And I don't think Bang is gonna get too much well done here.
Yeah, and it feels like for Banga, he was going for the 2 hatch lurker kind of play, but with the cannons already set and done, he didn't really want to commit in it. He went for Hydras instead, and here comes eXoBLaZeR, decided to go for rundown by. It's a timing, very surprising, and getting into the cluster of things. The leg upgrade, those leg augments really enhancing these Zealots in the first place, and these Hydras not standing a chance whatsoever, forced to retreat, but these Zealots, the chase is on and the hunt is afoot.
Yeah, it's a bloodbath here. +1 Zealots. +1 speed Zealots are very strong against Hydras.
And it seems like it is going to be the 3 hatch here for the Hydras, and he is really committing onto it. Didn't go for the lair tech to get the lurk aspect whatsoever, and he's looking to play into the front lines, but just with BlaZeR outmaneuvering and outrunning the opposition. GG is called, and Banger PH will concede against BlaZeR.
Fast game by BlaZeR here.
Absolutely. Just the leg enhancement. You see how quick BlaZeR decides to execute. He decided, I'm gonna go for the attack now. I'm gonna go for the fights, and I am just gonna surprise you with sudden speed, getting my boost underway. And well played there to BlaZeR, just able to win things out in a very positive manner. Just with those Zealots again, pretty much his bread and butter so far through this tournament.
Yeah. Zealots are very OP on Brood War. No, they're not. They're much more stronger than Zealots and SE2 because they're much more bulkier here.
And they are really strong, honestly. You don't need that charge whatsoever. And if I remember correctly, way back when, was he part of the World Cyber Games, Mr. BlaZeR? I remember he had a few VODs here and there. I'm actually gonna Google it real quick because I see one right now. There's a bunch of things going on, but he honestly is one of the top rated players of the PH scene. This Mr. eXoBLaZeR, that's for sure. But I think he really was one of the best. Like, what do you remember about BlaZeR's career, Mr. XtinC?
Yeah, I believe BlaZeR is one of the top players of here in the Philippines for Brood War. And I remember he used to play Terran. I remember he used to play Terran. Then
Somewhere down the road.
somewhere down the road he switched to Protoss. I don't know why.
Yeah. That's what I remember too. Like, honestly, I'm just casting these games as they are, but it really felt something was amiss seeing BlaZeR's name with Protoss instead of his Terran. So I know for a fact. I'm not sure. Okay, I know for a fact that I saw him playing Terran. Remember when we were in the Cebu in
Yeah.
He was playing still Terran. So it feels like this is a race swap for him, either for this tournament or basically a recent kind of thing. So maybe we can ask him later on if we can find out why he's actually playing that Protoss race. But he's doing such a good job with basic units, and I know for a fact that he had that marine control, right? He had some solid marine control way back when, and it's pretty much the same thing for the Zealots apparently.
Yeah, he actually plays Terran before, even in Brood War. He told us, but then he somehow switched to Protoss in Brood War. I don't know why. Then when StarCraft 2 came out, he played Terran there, and that's the story.
So Mr. Bagster telling us the story that he was the main race Protoss and switched Terran and then back to Protoss again. So he's back. He's back to his home. He's back to his roots. And right now, he is 1-up against his opponent. So very well done against Banga PH. He was able to really just outmaneuver those Hydralisks. And without the lurkers whatsoever from Banga, it just goes to show it wasn't really enough firepower. I really feel like if Banga did go for the lair tech, it could have been a whole different story. But he went for the killing blow. That never really happened. He waited on for 3 cannons to show on up and never shot down those cannons to begin with. And victory going over to BlaZeR, well deserved there on map number 1, as we do get confirmation map number 2, and that one is going to be Escalade 1.0. So same old thing again, first victory in favor of the Protoss already, and if BlaZeR is able to take this, well, he is going to be able to move on to the semifinals.
Yeah, I think on the play earlier, I think if he could have focused fire the cannons, I think he would have won. The cannons did so much damage.
Yeah, exactly. I feel like there's just a little bit of a mistake there, really costing Banga in the end. But hey, it's time right now to get into the next bit of action. It's time right now to get into the next match in our series. Here we go into Escalade. We're just making sure everything is fine and dandy yet again. And so far, it is BlaZeR with the 1-0 advantage. And he's really priming himself to go all the way in a scenario like this. Very, very impressively done. And as a student of the Cebu program, as well as the same as Team eXoBLaZeR way back when, Mr. XtinC, what can you really say about BlaZeR and his playstyle?
He is more of a timing player. He likes timing attacks. He likes planned attacks. And mostly that's his bread and butter right there. Mostly it's like a double-edged sword when he plays. Like, if he does his attack perfectly, he wins. If it fails, he's somewhat in a dire situation.
Okay, but anyway, that's a really good to know as we get into our next game. Game number 2 here and now. And on to Escalade we go. So welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, and here we go. Game number 2 out of 3 between Banga PH as well as eXoBLaZeR. Introducing first on the bottom left corner of Escalade, on the 7 o'clock position, it's our red Zerg, Banga PH. Now his opponents on the bottom right. Are we supposed to bring in the Korean music with the whole something like that? I know it's a part of the production where they zoom in on the players and the like. But speaking of the zoom in, here on the bottom right corner of Escalade again, 4 o'clock position this time for eXoBLaZeR. Nice, galing talaga. Congratulations. That's amazing right there from Mr. XtinC.
What I like about Korean commentators in StarCraft World War is their energy when they cast. Like, they give so much hype. Even though you don't understand it, you just enjoy it.
I mean, that's been the Korean style forever. They always just bring in, they are able to just throw in so much energy, and even though you don't know what's going on based on their words, you just can feel it from their emotions. That's exactly what's happening, and it really goes to show they can make some big moments even bigger, just bringing in that excitement along the way. But here we go right now. It's Bang PH going for the hatch first, already looking to transition immediately on a 2-base scenario.
Ooh, look at this. Gateway first here for BlaZeR on the high ground.
Yeah, all about that scouting right now, and if BlaZeR gets the spot on, he might be able to get the punishment onto this hatchery, because this will take a little bit longer for Bang PH to get more and more of his production going. So Bang will go for the spawning pool first by the 9 pool mark, and he is going to go for an extra drone before getting his overpool ready to go. But he did go for that hatchery very, very quickly, and even though he is going to have a lot more eggs to deal with, he's usually going to be wanting that for drones. So more or less a very economic-oriented start here for our red Zerg.
Yeah, and a little bit more aggressive build here for BlaZeR, since he's going to go for Gateway, then Cybernetics core. So fast tech here for BlaZeR.
Exactly, and finally we are gonna get the Overlord there as Bang PH. Did he go for the extracting? Seems like it was a little bit of the case along the way. But anyway, in the meantime, I'm just getting that 9 pool up and running at the same time, and just waiting on for a few more drones before sending that one out. It really is just a smaller difference, right, between a complete 9 pool and an over pool, but it just goes to show what you prioritize first in a scenario like this. As eXoBLaZeR says, "Hello neighbor, I see what you're doing. You got your pool, you got your Overlord, and you look like you're primed and ready to send out those links. I'll just be chilling here, waiting for this probe to die."
Yeah, quick fact here about Brood War. It's very, very hard to chase down this probe with slow links.
Yeah, the speed upgrade is essential, honestly, if you do want to shut down those scouting workers, that's for sure. But in a scenario like this, we are going to be looking to see what's going to be going on between our two guys. As here comes the links right now, going to scout. The probe will be able to run away with a few more minerals, but this is a lot, actually. This is a lot of links right now from Bang PH. He's using the double egg cycle, basically, to hatchery to bring in the aggression. And right now, eXoBLaZeR holding position, but he does lose his probe to get to allow these links to get on the inside. Dangerous trades here, Mr. XtinC, as BlaZeR is trying to defend. Just remember all the EXO names, I get them mixed up from time to time, but it really goes to show it's a happy family, that's for sure. Anyway, now the Zealots really going for the brawl. We see a few probes trying to fight for their lives, as eXoBLaZeR is now setting things up. And Bang PH giving chase as much as possible.
Here comes the links. 2 Zealots. Can you defend? Away, going for DPs, I presume.
Yeah, might be a 1-gate DT kind of deal. But anyway, the Dragoon right now in position. And this is pretty good here for BlaZeR. He's able to make sure that that information isn't going to be given to the opponents. And in this instance, well, this is BlaZeR right now, looking really solid so far.
Yeah, he has 17. He's up by 17. 5 probes right now. And this is a 3-base Zerg, and it's still nothing links, I think.
Not too many drones actually here for Bang PH. Well, he does have that many hatcheries. He's using them to keep the funnel on, and it really is all about links right here, right now, from our Zerg player. Keeping up with the pressure, keeping that all the way in. It's like, what, 2 hatch, maybe even 3 hatch right now with the links. But I wouldn't be surprised if we do get the transition into something that's Hydraless, then now looking to come online. Might be 3 hatch Hydras into this one. Maybe even Lurker, as we saw earlier on, that Bang PH maybe just need a little more difference, a little more punch to try and get the victory. Starting right now with the cleanup, probes again going for the fight, but the workers should be able to mop the floor against these scouting units.
Yeah, here's the problem. These are on their way right now. And I think this, if the Zerg doesn't defend this properly, his drones are gonna get slaughtered, every single one.
Yeah, the lucky thing though in Brood War that Overlords are immediate detectors. So honestly, many Protoss players are like, why would I ever build DTs against the Zerg? But this is going to be very, very interesting because usually you do want to have those Corsairs along the way for a scenario like this. But this is a very, very quick 1-gate DT rush here and now from eXoBLaZeR. He really commended all of his technology for that. Overlord going to get a spot on. The Hydralisk going to be able to see the DT transitioning already to that main base. And it's all about the slice and dice action. There's no Overlords through in the main, and without any speed, these drones are just gonna go down. 1, 2, 3, let's go. That's gonna be a 4th one there, and this is just the DT with the absolute slaughterhouse situation. Hydra's in position right now to make sure that other one doesn't get in the way, but Banga PH is losing every single drone on this main base, and that is absolutely painful. Oh my god.
No Overlord in the main bed. There's no Overlord making. DTs are killing Hydras. This is a disaster.
Yeah, and they're not that soft, that's for sure. They still have 80 HP on them in the first place, able to run all the way, and oh my god, Banga, don't hit your own hatchery, my friend. These DTs now on the outskirts, they turn into Dark Archons, so no really surprise Archon wars, but at the same time, they are very, very good spellcasters if researched properly. And I mean, it seems like this 3-hatch Hydra. Mr. XtinC, if you don't have money, how do you build Hydra?
You don't.
You don't. Exactly. I'm glad you understand the situation right now.
I don't know how to play StarCraft. How do you play this?
I think it doesn't matter. If you want something but you don't have money, you say you don't. And right now for Banga PH, he's unable to do much. 9 army versus 22. A lot of DTs right now with some Zealots in the front. And these are very, very tanky units, especially those Zealots with around 160 overall HP with the shields in. So DTs right now going for the slice and dice action. 2 hits and they're gone. No armor whatsoever there. And that is going to be GG. eXoBLaZeR will take the series 2-0.
Why don't we get Zerg wins? I want to see Zerg wins.
It's not happening, my friend. It's not happening. And that is a victory there for BlaZeR. Went for the DT, won with the DT, and very, very impressively done. The big deal, though, was really the fact that he was able to withhold information. And in maps like this, that's a big deal. If you put your important structures on the other side of the opening ramps and the like, well, that is an opportunity for you to surprise your opponent if they're unable to get that scouting information. And BlaZeR sacrificing a lot, honestly, to really defend that one. A number of probes, a number of zealots as well, and a few dragoons along the way. And honestly, for Banga PH, if maybe he didn't let up, it might have been a whole different story. But again, just not having things in the proper position. No Overlord there on that main base, allowing the DT to really cut down everything. Didn't have the carapace whatsoever to get that speed upgrade on. And these are slow, very, very slow Overlords, that's for sure. Even though they're detectors, you want to have them in position at all costs. But with nothing there on that main base, that really hurt Banga, who was really focusing on getting as much Hydra as possible with those 3 hatches.
Yeah, at the same time, like, Bang is just really on a really low drone count. They don't have enough drones to continually pump out that many links.
Yeah, or no, I think the thing right now, guys, to discuss is really the speed of the Overlord. If the Overlord is just here on the second base, if it's just on the second base, there is no way for it to make it to the main. No matter how far you try, it's not gonna make it. Now, I feel like the mistake there for Banga is not building another Overlord. Maybe he could have saved a few things or went for the pull, but it seems like his attention was elsewhere, and in the end, it really hurt his economy. You need those 3 bases up and running to keep up with the hatcheries, with those eggs, getting Hydras along the way, and for you to transition into Lurkers later on if need be. But when the going gets tough, it seems like BlaZeR gets even tougher, and he made these TTs count. This is the second game of this BO3, so he could take a little bit of a risk, and it panned out well for him in a 7.5-minute affair. Honestly, these games have been faster, man. Mr. XtinC, these games have been a lot faster than I expected here in the Brood War League.
Yeah, because the BlaZeR went for very, very sharp timing attacks here, where Banga hasn't able to defend these attacks. That's why it's been very fast. But yeah, it's very hard to stop Protoss's timing attacks, especially when you don't have the right units to defend them.
Exactly. Not the wrong place and the wrong time there for Banga PH. And he's gonna bow out to Blazer, who moves on to the semifinals and is looking to really make it an interesting time in our tournament. But anyway, we are gonna be looking, guys, to get into another round 3 matchup, and we are very interested to see how this whole tournament is gonna unfold. Anyway, though, that was Banga PH versus eXoBLaZeR, going in favor of the Protoss 2-0. And shoutouts again to all our sponsors, All About Gaming, All About Games. We got Game Co. We also have Animora Gaming. We also have Stale Cookie Destroyer PH on the community side, and DLS Mizzle. So again, news on All About Games. We also have Game Co, a big streamer community, a streaming page on Facebook. We also have our lovely supporters on the side of old games such as CS 1.3, as well as StarCraft Ruvar on Amanoma Gaming. And special thanks, of course, to Destroyer PH and Stale Cookie on the communities and really helping things out along the way. This is the SCPH Boudoir League, and we will be back with another matchup very soon.